God, what a lovely audience. Hello, everybody. It's so packed. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Maybe there's more when I walk out the door. Maybe one day I'll try. Find another sky out there. Someone I used to know. Would have dared to go somewhere. Maybe a circle in a square can live then return to what it had. Maybe one song is all I share, but there might be more for me to add. Where do I go cuando me voy? Brota la flor cuando ves su color. Maybe it's not too late. Open up, why wait? I dare. Hello, hello, hello. How are you all? It's Saturday, we're at the Fringe. What can get better than this? Right? Yay! I'm Florencia, by the way. Thank you so much for coming. Tonight I was gonna share a story with you, but something happened on my way here. Bless you. I found this box. It's filled with old cassette tapes, with music I started recording a long time ago. I thought Mama had thrown this box away. I started recording cassette tapes as a little girl. I was 4 years old. I remember it vividly. I have bangs, a little Care Bear clip on each side of my hair, a red dress with lots and lots of flowers. And I would spend all day with Mama in Buenos Aires at home. If Mama is going to the grocery shop or to the bank, I'd be holding her back, the back of the bicycle. And then when Papa comes home from work, I would leave Mama alone and I would be glued to him for the rest of the night. And when Papa brings this boombox, my goodness, I couldn't believe it. He knew exactly how to make it work. All of these buttons? Forget about being a superhero. For me, Papa is MacGyver. And he wants to test it to make sure that it works. So he asks me to sing a song. There I am, 4 years old, about to have my recording debut. Qué linda manito que tengo yo. Qué linda manito con mucho amor. In my teenage years, I started writing and recording music with all my cousins, my uncles, my aunts. So as a teenage girl, I was giving all of these grown-ups instructions or orders. Fun orders maybe, but orders nonetheless. I wish I had that confidence now. Now I would never tell anyone what to do. I'm a loud mess of self-doubt. Like if I'm on a taxi and my driver misses my stop, I don't say anything. I'm like, thank you, thank you. I pretend like I'm opening the door, I wait for them to leave. Like now, I take showers, but I don't take baths. Do you know why? I'm too worried I will relax too much, pass out and die. But not before. As a younger girl, I would commit to my vision 100%, unapologetic about it. I would give it my all. Where did that girl go? That's my family. That's my dad. That's me. Just like the world keeps on spinning all day, my mind can race further without delay. Rivers that flow from a stream never stop, unless I hit a wall, trip down, down. I give you my all, 'cause I wanna stand tall. Unless I nada type of person, like everything or nothing, that it's no wonder that when all my friends in our teenage years, they start falling in love, wanting to spend all their time with their other person, I went the opposite direction. They want love, I want none of it! In fact, I became quite obsessed with the idea of making a case for why we can find love in other places, not just romantic love. Romantic love is distracting. I don't want that. So I started writing and recording music to reflect other types and other ways of experiencing love. I had some pop, alt, folk, what else? I have some tango. I wouldn't be Argentinian without tango. Would you hold this one for me? Thank you so much. Folk, maybe you'll help me with this one. Pop, we need some pop in our lives. Alt, thank you. But before we get to the tapes, I want to share with you my personal mantra. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love is dead. Love is dead. I choose when I go out, when I come back, or don't leave the house, when I will meet somebody new, but I won't make them my spouse. It's up to me to say what's up, what I'll be doing at night, what I can buy or sell or want, what comes to mind is right. Love is dead. Love is dead. Why is a question I don't ever wanna reply? Why have to think about a reason why? I'll just say boy bye. So here's my answer when the Backstreet Boys sing tell me why. No further ado, I'll tell you why. Love is dead. Love is dead. Love is dead. I'm mostly terrified that someone will break my heart. I'll be the only one with their heart torn apart. But shh, 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 I'll never say shh, shh, shh. But this I'll say, love is dead. Love is dead. Of course, I'm the only anti-love person in my entire friend group. Everybody else is looking for love, they're chasing love, they want love. Particularly mi prima, my cousin Poppy, she's unlike me. She's obsessed with love. She loves love. And our polar opposite attitudes become even clearer when we are 22. And Poppy suggests we go on a backpacking trip, which is a great idea. I've never left Argentina. It's something I fantasized about. Going from watching concerts on TV to fully immersing myself in another culture, different sounds, styles of music. But now I can't. Now I'm working as much as I can and I'm saving, so hopefully one day I can record some music. So Poppy says, what if I find a place where we can go backpack and also work and save more money than we're saving here in Buenos Aires? She says, Middle Earth. She means New Zealand. She likes Lord of the Rings. You might know that the work visas are not easy to get, but New Zealand is actually very friendly when it comes to other visitors going there and working, which makes sense given it's an isolated island in the middle of the ocean. To get to the next piece of land, Australia, you'd need to swim, 2,000 kilometers? That's like going from Edinburgh to Madrid. But here you'd be stepping on 100 million people and apologizing in 4 different languages. So we apply for a visa, we get it, we pack. I pack very light, a small bag. I tell my parents and my younger siblings, I'll be right back with gifts for everyone. 2-3 months tops. And Poppy and I fly to Auckland, New Zealand, along with 3 other Argentinian friends who come with us. We all move into a 2-bedroom apartment in Auckland. I not only share a room with Poppy, I also share a twin-sized bed. Let me tell you something. Nothing will teach you how to sleep fast and still like sharing a bed in a non-romantic way. To this day, whatever position I lie in bed in is the same position I wake up to. And even here, Poppy is like Gollum chasing the ring. My precious, she wants a boyfriend now. For Poppy, love is like a Celine Dion mixtape, which she makes. She wants to play it every time she brings a guy home, which is not that often. But I do appreciate the warning, so I don't go in and open a door. If I hear Celine Dion singing, I stay away. Poppy wants to find love, feel it, keep it. I just want to make it. But one day, a cute guy moves across the hall. He's a short king, as you might say, so Poppy is uninterested. And he knocks on her door. There he is. Thick brown hair, Colgate smile, and he says, "Will you share the password of your Wi-Fi?" Hot. We become friends instantly. His name is Juan. I feel like I'm living in a sitcom, crossing the hall in the morning in my pajamas with my coffee. Late at night, he crosses the hall in his pajamas, ready to have a cup of tea. I like him, but I don't say anything, and I don't do anything. I'm committed to my mantra. Love is dead. No distractions. I'm here to work, save money, and go back to Argentina. Months go by, 3, 4, 5. I know this is more than we had planned. But we're working and we're saving money and we're having a good time. 7, 8, 9 months. And Poppy gets us all together and she says, we should all drop what we're doing, travel together before we go back to Argentina. She goes to the public library and she comes back with the Lonely Planet Southeast Asia edition. And we plan a trip. And both apartments, 9 Argentinians, we all quit our jobs at the same time. And we start a trip that begins in Bangkok. First night in Bangkok, we go to a restaurant and they bring the menu. Big menu, 2 sides, same items. One side, reasonable prices. The other side, way more expensive. I look close, there's an asterisk below, magic mushroom food. We look around and everybody's so happy. Poppy calls the waiter and she says, we'll have what they're having. The very When Harry Met Sally move. We eat everything, we get so high, and at the end of the night, we're all walking back to our hostel. Juan, Poppy, and I share the same hostel room. No, this is not Zendaya's Challengers. Not at all. Poppy falls asleep immediately, and Juan and I are laughing uncontrollably, but we're trying to keep it quiet so we don't wake her up. And there's a full moon, so I can tell that Juan is getting closer to me, and he's whispering, and then he leans in, and time freezes. Neither one of us moves for what feels like an eternity. Does anybody remember the 1997 movie with Cameron Diaz and Julia Roberts, My Best Friend's Wedding? Anybody? Anybody remember? There's one scene, my favorite scene. Julia Roberts is on a boat in Chicago with the man she secretly loves, played by Dermot Mulroney. He tells her that when you love someone, you say it out loud, right then and there. Otherwise, the moment passes you by. And in a beautiful visual metaphor, the boat goes under a bridge and it gets dark inside. And Dermot and Julia are standing close to each other, and he looks at her, hoping that she will say something that she doesn't say. And the boat keeps moving, and it's bright again, and the moment passes them by. And Julia doesn't get the guy. I'm sorry to ruin a 30-year-old movie. But I don't want the moment to pass me by. So we're in the room, and Juan leans in, and time freezes, and I lean in, and time catches up with us, and I can feel my love is dead mantra exit the back of my head, and we kiss. And we spend the next couple of weeks hiding our thing from the rest of the group because we don't want to disrupt the dynamic. So we're always looking for places where we can hide, maybe make out, like the back of a pirate DVD store, or when we all rent scooters, he and I casually jump on the same one and we wander off behind some bushes. Sorry. Sometimes I sneeze when I think about sex. Where did I leave the tape labeled Pop? At the back, I think. Pop? Can I get it back? This is alt. Where's Pop? Thank you so much. Thank you for taking this one. For better or for worse, Pop is for romantic love. What is happening to me? Maybe it's because we're far away or because we're hiding, but for once, I'm not holding back. Walk out the door, suddenly I blush, then I feel a rush, knowing what we did before. It's a new season, I can't ignore. All I wanna do is get a drink with you, to take me ashore. 1, 2, 3, hold my breath, jumping in. Is this my death? If I were to dive in, I think I'm gonna fall, but I don't wanna know how long the fall is for. If I were to dive in, baby, if I fall, I don't wanna know how long the fall is ashamed to admit how far my Love is Dead is. I'm fully diving in to this thing. Suddenly, every single lyric to every single Celine Dion song speaks about me. And all my friends are starting to return to Argentina, so I want to know what's going to happen to us. Us, hear me out. I'm one of them now. I've converted to romanticism. So I go to Juan and I ask him, will you meet me in Buenos Aires? And he pauses and he looks at me with his Hollywood smile that I hate how much I love. And he says, I'm actually thinking about staying in New Zealand a little longer. Why don't you stay with me? Why do you have to go back to Buenos Aires? Why? My entire life is in Buenos Aires. What do you mean, why? This is exactly what happens. You fall in love and then your mind gets all foggy. You start doing stupid things. It's like 1 minute you're in your room minding your own business. The next minute, David Bowie shows up with a crazy wig, crazy creatures. He pulls you out and drops you in a labyrinth you'll never get out of. No, I'm gonna tell him that I can't. And we are grown-ups, so we're gonna talk it out. And we're gonna come up with the agreement. And I look at him, and his Hollywood smile, and I say, yes, I'll stay with you. Crap. I can't resist it. It's like, I don't want to let whatever this could be pass me by. And we fully dive into this adventure, literally, because together we traveled the world for years. We live in a cabin in the South Island of New Zealand. We spend months in the coldest ever recorded winter in China. We get a fine for PDA in Malaysia. And after 4 years of this nomadic life, I don't know if we get bored with the place or with each other, but we decide it's time to move. And that's how we get to Ireland. Right here, next door, right? There's a big Irish community in Argentina. And Irish people, Argentinians, like Scottish, we all have similar feelings when it comes to the English, right? So we get along well, we bond immediately. And I like being in an English-speaking country so I can keep practicing my English. Although I don't know that the Irish accent is the best one for that, but here I am. Dublin is more expensive than we had thought, so we need a flatmate. And we meet Sean. He's the first Irish man I meet in person, and he's no Cillian Murphy, but... So we go to his apartment, he opens the door, the first thing I read is, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." Next to, "My goodness, my Guinness." Welcome home, perfect. Sean and I bond over the love for our cultures. For him, his Irishness. For me, my Maradona-ness. We talk a lot about Oscar Wilde, Borges, Swift. No, not Taylor Swift. My second favorite Swift, Jonathan Swift and his Gulliver's Travels. And our first year in Dublin is wonderful. Juan and I are both working, we're saving, we're traveling. I bike everywhere I go. There are buskers all around, belting, where the streets have no name, which is a real fact in Ireland, by the way. Oh, sorry. Hi? Yeah. No, but that was gonna get sorted. That's 2 days from now. Yeah, sure, I'll figure it out. Yeah, no problem. Big problem. My visa is expiring in 2 days. Juan is an engineer, so his visa gets immediately renewed. I'm a writer, so mine is not. Juan has an idea. He says, we just celebrated 5 years together. Let's just get married. That's my big wedding proposal. In 5 years, we never talked about getting married. Not once. But in my todo o nada, everything or nothing type of mindset, never talking about getting married, suddenly eloping in 48 hours, makes perfect sense, right? So, sure, let's do it. I grab my laptop, I'm gonna do a quick search. How to quick marriage Ireland. No, there's no such thing. It's a very Catholic country and they take their weddings very seriously, unlike me, a Catholic-raised sinner. Las Vegas, I've seen it in movies. Dublin, Las Vegas, flight. It's so expensive. And it's so far away, I would never get back on time. No. Okay, quick wedding, Europe. Boom, there it is, Italia. You'd imagine that with the Vatican in the middle of the country, they'd be a little bit more uptight. They're not. Juan, grab your passport, we leave at dawn. In the morning, we fly, non-stop, Dublin, Rome. First thing we do when we get to Rome, we run to the Argentinian embassy. We need to get our documents notarized. Then we need to find a courtroom, get an appointment, and get married. All of this in a day and a half. It's like The Amazing Race. If at the end of the show you won a paper that says forever. So we get to the Argentinian embassy. We run, big sign outside, closed for lunch. Of course, an Argentinian embassy in Rome. We're outside waiting, we're sweating, it's summer, July in Italy. We wait for an hour, 2 hours, finally they open. We get our papers notarized. We find a courtroom. They give us an appointment tomorrow morning. Before we leave, I hold the notary's hand and with desperation in my voice, I ask, is there anything else we need to get married tomorrow? No. Are you sure? Seguro. The following day, we get to the courthouse. This is a chapel. It's meant to be a civil wedding, but there's a cross and a baby Jesus judging me? My mom is gonna kill me. Everybody's wearing nice silk dresses, holding flowers. There I am, denim, flip-flops. They call our names. We go there, we give them the papers, stamp, stamp, stamp. Everything is perfect. Chi sono il testimoni? Il testi che? Testimoni, due. We need 2 witnesses. Un minuto, per favore, and I run outside. I need to find 2 witnesses. Testimoni, per favore, para el matrimoni. There's no one around. The street is empty at a distance. I see a couple. I run to them. Testimoni, per favore, para el matrimoni. We're from New York. God bless America. Come with us. 2 New Yorkers, 2 Argentinians walk into a Roman chapel. The ceremony begins. There's something you should know about Argentinians. Our mother tongue is Spanish, but we all assume we are naturally born trilingual, speaking Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian. We're not. So they're talking, and I'm nodding, but I don't know if I'm getting married or selling my soul. Probably both. Lo accetti come tuo marito? Lo accetti come tuo marito? Accetti, accept? Yes, I do. As I say, I do. I'm struck by 2 things. One is that here I am, all the way from Argentina, going through ridiculous lengths to stay in Europe, when not too long ago, my great-grandparents did the opposite journey from Europe to the Americas. In the early 20th century, Martina, my great-grandmother, and her sister, Marcelina, were 14 and 16-year-old sisters living in a mountain village in the Basque country, north of Spain. Their mother cooked for the church next door, which is the same church where Martina, my great-grandmother, learns how to play the piano, and she teaches her younger sister. So together they take turns to play the hymns in Mass. In winter, it gets so cold that they need to bring the cattle inside the house to stay warm. After World War I, the town is taken over by a big famine, and slowly people in the neighborhood start talking about a foreign country rumored to have open fields ready to be planted. As months go by, more and more people pack their belongings and they set sail for Argentina. Soon, Martina and Marcelina's mom realizes that her savings won't last another season, so she must act now. But she can only afford 2 tickets. So at the port, she hugs her 2 daughters, and Martina and Marcelina ask their mother, "Mama, you'll join us later, no? You'll meet us in Buenos Aires?" But she never did. In all the years that Martina and Marcelina lived in Argentina, they never returned to Europe. Maybe the memories and the love for their hometown were such that they couldn't fathom the idea of returning to a place they wouldn't recognize anymore. Maybe I'm not going back home because I worry no one there will recognize me anymore. I see you're holding Tango, the tape. Thank you so much. You know, for me, Tango is for the love and longing for place and home.
Bajo el burlón mirar de las estrellas que
con indiferencia, no me ven volver. Chapel saying I do, the second thing that comes to mind is an image of my grandma Memi, mi abuela. She's Martina's daughter. These are two women who committed their entire life to a relationship, to a family, making it the center of their lives, which is exactly my fear around romantic love. Martina, my great-grandmother, who had learned how to play the piano in church in Spain, she teaches her daughter, my grandma Memi, how to play the piano. And Memi, she's very gifted, very talented, playing at some of the best concert halls in Argentina. And then she falls in love with my grandpa, mi abuelo. She has to give up the conservatory to marry him. But she still plays the piano in the house as much as she can while she's raising a family of 6. Until they need money, and it only makes sense for them to sell the piano. But abuelo, my grandpa, he makes a promise. He says, I will buy it back. I promise, I will. And he does. 50 years later. My grandma went 50 years without playing the piano. I know it's a different generation and I shouldn't judge the past through the lens of today's world, but for a long time I couldn't understand why she gave up her dream. Until now. She probably thought she was going to get back to it at some point. And then time went on and she didn't. I don't think we are defined by one big decision as much as we are by all the little ones. My entire family is in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. I'm the only one who left home, and I have a big family. My parents have been together forever. They had me when they were 22, which is the same age I was when I left. And I have 2 younger siblings, much younger, so I missed most of their childhood. I left saying, I'll be right back. And it's been 7 years now. My sister, she's a huge cinephile, so she makes me go and see iconic places from movies. I go to Casablanca, Moulin Rouge, Hogwarts. And my brother won't stop until I go visit every single football stadium. I go to Camp Nou, Stadio Olimpico. But what I miss the most are Christmases at home. They're huge. 50 to 60 relatives come to my parents' house for the sweatiest Papa Noel, Santa Claus in the Southern Hemisphere, my dad. Navidad starts at 10 p.m. on the 24th of December, and it ends at 4 a.m. on the 25th of December, with all my aunts and uncles dancing barefoot in the kitchen table. But really, any given Sunday is a big deal at home. And I'm missing all of it. A part of me wants to be there, but not my current version. I worry she wouldn't fit in. Could I ask who has the tape Folk? Folk. Thank you so much. This is for the love of friends and family. Lately I'm having a recurring dream that I knock and my parents open a door and I'm back in my childhood room. Mi Buenos Aires, querida, when will we meet again? I dream about the times when mornings in bed are just mama, papa y yo. Café con leche while we watch our favorite show. The Sunday paper that my dog brings up for us is hardly readable, so we say nunca más. The football game is on, we all gather around. When Maradona plays, I never make a sound. An open grill with meat on top. The fire's ready and the coal is burning hot. Mi Buenos Aires, for which I yearn, the place I hope one day I'll return. Mi Buenos Aires, tierra querida, cuánto te extraño, those were the days. When tíos, primos, aunts and cousins and some more arrive for lunch, which often starts at 3 or 4. We gather round the table para un buen Malbec. Salud! El cafecito, el mate, leavings of the moon. There's always someone who will light up a cigar, while someone else will start to play their own guitar. And as the sun sets into the night, we're all together around the table, close and tight. Mi Buenos Aires, for which I yearn, the home I hope one day I'll return. Mi Buenos Aires, tierra querida, cuánto te extraño, those were cuando te vuelva a ver. Juan and I have been in Dublin for a few years now, and we still live with Sean, our flatmate. We call ourselves Los Tres Musketeers. If musketeers said Che and Sloncha. We still live with Sean, A, because we want to save money, and B, because we don't want the whole wedding thing to change anything about us. Although, now that we're married, I do feel an extra pressure for this to work out. And I'm starting to feel that when we are not facing forward, heading somewhere new, we're facing each other. And I used to think that relationships were like windows into each other's soul. They're not, they're more like mirrors. And sometimes the reflection might not be the most flattering one. I tend to avoid mirrors in general. I don't want to find things that need Botox. And I have a feeling that I might be doing the same thing when it comes to us. Juan says, let's move and go somewhere new, which is usually a good solution for us. But we can't agree on where to go, and it's been such an ordeal for us to figure out how to stay in Ireland that we put the conversation on hold. And the next few months are a little bit rough. I can take the arguing, but now we've moved on to something worse. Not talking at all. And the silence is forcing me to confront how much of myself I've lost. I can't remember when it was the last time I recorded music. I stopped calling home. I haven't told anybody about the wedding, not even my parents. It's like I'm ashamed of how I'm handling things. But even as I say it out loud, and I can rationalize it, I can't change anything about it. It's like I know I'm stuck. I don't want to be stuck, but I still choose to stay stuck, and it sucks. I wish we could go back to the good times. Sorry. Sean knows that Juan and I are struggling, so he tries to come up with fun activities for us to do in the house, like brewing our own beer or going on walks along Raglan Road. Sean is an actor, so he's preparing for his role in Waiting for Godot, which sounds like me up at night waiting for Juan to come home. He's working longer hours, starting to miss dinner. One day Sean finds out that the Dubliners, the folk band, they're having a reunion concert, so he gets 2 tickets for us to go together. Juan is busy, so he won't be able to join. So Sean and I go to the concert. Crisp October night, beautiful show. Everybody is chanting along. And at the end of the concert, Sean and I are walking back to the apartment, and we're crossing the bridge over the Leafy River. And Sean stops. He takes something out of his pocket. No, it's not a ring. Although I hate to admit how I wish Juan had given me a ring. I know I'm a terrible feminist. No, this is a music box. Sean plays it and he starts singing. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first laid my eyes on sweet Molly Malone as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Sean looks at me with his bright green eyes and he asks, "Would you run away with me?" "What? Where? I mean, no!" He keeps singing. She died of a fever and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Her ghost wheels her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying goggles and muzzles, alive, alive. Thank you for joining. Sean and I are on the bridge, and he looks at me and he says, "I know what you're thinking. You want to go back to Buenos Aires, don't you?" "I don't know." "What about Juan?" "I don't know. But do you want to be with Juan?" "I don't know." And Sean gets closer to me and he says, "I've been waiting for the perfect moment." I don't think there are perfect moments. I don't tell him this, I'm telling you this. I don't think there are perfect moments. I think there are good enough moments that end up being perfect because we don't let them pass by. And I think about that a lot. What if I had let my first kiss with Juan pass by? Or when Poppy suggested we go on a trip, pass by? We never know which moment is the moment, the first of many, or the last moment. So there I am on the bridge with Sean, and he leans in, and time freezes. But this time I don't lean in. This time I let the moment pass me by. And I leave Sean on the bridge and I walk away. A little bit dramatic of me, I know. My Irish exit. And I walk all night. I don't know what I'm walking to or what I'm walking away from, but I realize that I've been walking, moving for 10 years, directionless. At some point, I need to stop and take a look in the mirror and see what's left, what's gone. Something has to change. Maybe not Botox, but something. So I walk all night until the sun is up. And when I'm finally back in the apartment, Juan is in the kitchen having coffee. He's quiet. So I say, hola, and I go to the fridge. I'm gonna prepare some breakfast. Juan, where's the soda bread? I had it last night when you didn't come home. You had my bread? Why, this is so you. You walk, I follow. I just had some bread. I don't want you having my bread. It's always the little things, right? I don't want this, you don't want this, what are we doing? And we're in the middle of the most frank conversation we've had. When Juan suggests we move to Argentina. He says, if I go, will you meet me in Buenos Aires? By now I know that moving is not the answer. But I also know that saying no to him doesn't mean I have to say no to Argentina. It doesn't have to be todo or nada, everything or nothing. Declaring love is dead and then following love till the end of the world are two sides of the same coin. Maybe I do need to go back to Argentina and face the mirror that reflects back not only my love for what he and I had, but also my love for my home, for my family, for myself. So while we end our relationship that morning in the kitchen, I do go back to Buenos Aires for the first time in 10 years. I knock and my parents open a door that takes me immediately back in time. I eat and I sleep like a hibernating bear until my mom throws the loudest welcome back family get together you can possibly imagine. And when everybody's gone and my family's asleep, I'm wide awake in my old childhood room, which is intact. So I'm going through all my old things, like journals and notebooks, photos, and the question, what's left of me, rings deafeningly loud in the back of my head. And that's when I find the box. A box that's been patiently waiting 10 years to be opened. And if it's okay with you, I would love to play one more tape. Alt. Yes. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Qué linda manita que tengo yo, qué linda manita con mucho amor, qué lindas cejitas que tengo yo, qué lindas cejitas con mucho amor.
One day, without thinking twice, I packed my love away. I will be right back, I used to say. So long, there's a piece of me that stays where you belong. Forever you'll be in my little song. I won't forget, for the time and place, the people that I met. be like letters signed with love. I don't need to meet my younger self where I think I left her. She meets me wherever I am. And I can try to rationalize my way into or out of love all I want, but at the end of the day, whether I name it, embrace it, reject it, love doesn't come into being and it doesn't cease to exist, it just is. Whether it's love for family, for friends, for home, for someone else, for myself, it's everywhere. And if I pay attention, it might take me somewhere new without even packing a single bag. But what if I do want to pack again and go on a new adventure? This time I would leave Buenos Aires, but on my own terms. And I don't know where I'll go next, but it'll be the city of my choosing. And I'll pack light. I'll have nothing but long-lived stories in my backpack, music in my box,